So I woke up this morning with my phone blowing up from many of you guys asking for my take on this whole Benchmade anti-gun thing going on that just came up. I wasn't even aware of it until I got a private message from my friend Big Lou this morning asking my take on this. So here's the deal. So if you don't know, so there's a big brouhaha on the internet about Benchmade being anti-gun because they have worked in cooperation with the Oregon City Police Department in destroying guns. And then there's two facets to it. The second is donating heavily to Democratic politicians, some of them being anti-gun. So the way I see this, it breaks down into three things. So first off, my affiliation, what's my affiliation of Benchmade? What have I had as far as relationships with them? I've had none until recently where they sent me 2 knives as a thank you because I've been such a fan of the Benchmade 940. You guys know that I've carried it. It's an Oregon company. I'm an Oregon man. I've always supported them. I've always liked their stuff. I've never been paid by them. I've never done anything. They sent a couple as a thank you. And I guess also when I received those 2 knives, and I'll link my review to these knives at the end, I was very critical of them. I didn't like them. So no one can accuse me of being a shill. I've got no affiliation with them whatsoever. I'm a gun fan. I'm a knife fan. I'm a critical thinking. I like to think a critical thinking man that can look at something at this particular problem in a reasonable, level-headed manner. So let's break it down. First off, so Benchmade destroying guns. Now, I understand how this is a knee-jerk reaction by a lot of folks out there because gun rights are constantly under attack. I understand that, and so we're always kind of, we got our feelers out, and we're willing to really react on this stuff because it is a problem. But I think that this whole thing has completely been misguided. So what happened was the Oregon City Police Department, and I know all these players because I grew up here. I know exactly where they're at. The Oregon City Police Department is no more, maybe I'm guessing less than a mile away from the Benchmade facility. They're divided by a strip mall. And so what happened was the Oregon City Police Department has got guns that have been brought in by folks. Let's say that someone has maybe died in a family and they had a cabinet full of guns. Maybe their wife or family, they're not into guns. They didn't know what to do with them. If you're not a gun person, what do you do with those things if it's not your deal? It's a problem. So what do? They take them to the police department. So the police department has guns that people have brought in for that reason. The police department has guns excuse me, that have been confiscated from crimes. They have guns that they've actually been ordered to destroy by the court through the I think ORS. So it's a state law. So they have these things they have to deal with. Now they don't have the facility to do this, and so the obvious thing for them, and I understand where they were going, is they probably have a relationship with Benchmade. I mean, they're practically neighbors, and they probably said, hey, we've got these things, we've got to get rid of them. Some of them they have to by law. Can you help us out? And Benchmade being a supporter, and a neighbor to the police department, I can speculate, say, yeah, we'll help you out. You can use our facility and come over here and use our angle grinders and deal with this. They have to deal with it. They're not in the business of reselling guns. They're not in the business of dealing with this. They don't have the finances. They don't have the facility. It's just common sense. It's just something that you would do. Now, on Benchmade, should they have done this, knowing that their customer base is really is basically going to be very pro-guns? I think it's a tempest in a teapot. I think probably folks didn't even think about it, and I just don't think it's that big of a deal. From what I understand, it even looks like the police department came over and did the cutting up of the guns themselves. So, you know what? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And then there's even some guys that are going so far as, there's some pictures and I'll attach it right here. You can see on the table that there is obviously a shotgun. It looks like it, an 870 or something, and someone just cut the barrel off. And then there's these guys on Reddit saying, oh, they've broken federal law. They have cut a barrel off shorter than 18 inches or whatever. That's nonsense. The police are actually doing it. Yeah, so they cut a barrel off while they're I think it's just nothing. I don't think it's a big deal. And with a tiny bit of research, you could kind of get to the facts of this. I mean, I haven't looked into it in depth. I'm not an investigative reporter. But when I was over my coffee, 5 minutes on the internet, I found some truths that kind of paint this thing in a different light. So as far as the cutting up of the guns and all that and working with the police department, I think it's, so what? You know, it's not a big deal. I'm sure it's not the only police department has done this. They're trying to help someone out. No good deed ever goes unpunished, right? So the second thing, donating to anti-gun politicians. Now that to me was when I was hearing everything and kind of investigating this, was the greater sin. Now, if you look, I'll put the chart here. If you look here, you can see that Benchmade indeed has donated to some Democratic representatives of our government. One of the, of course, the worst, of course, is Ron Wyden. Anyone who knows politics or follows it at all knows that Ron Wyden is not a friend of gun owners. He's a very leftist senator. And so when you see Benchmade, which is supposed to be supporting free speech or a Second Amendment and the military, and it's who's their clients? Their clients are going to be heavily pro-gun people, right? So is it a bad idea to donate to a senator who is actively working to take away our gun rights and restrict rights and unrealistic background checks? Well, you could make that argument, and that's the way it looks at face value. So again, with just a tiny little bit of digging, I found out, so there's some trade schools that are training young folks out of high school to be machinists, to the blue-collar trades that are so much in need in this country. And so the trade school, which I believe is a local, someplace in the Pacific Northwest here, is training these kids, and they're supplying employees to Benchmade is one of them. Maybe Gerber or Kershaw, all these local small manufacturers. It's basically a training center where they can get these kids, these boys and girls, up to speed and then feed them into these companies for good paying jobs. Because Benchmade offers Benchmade's a good company. It's a good company to work for. I actually have probably know 4 or 5 people, not friends, but acquaintances that work there, and they pay a living wage. It's a good company. So this trade school got involved with Ron Wyden. Hey, we want you to see what we're doing. You know, can you come out, take a look? We've got this this program, and we're teaching kids to do these things. Well, one of the staff members of Wyden's group reached out to Benchmade, and I'm assuming, found out that Benchmade is one of the recipients of these kids, and said, hey, we'd like to come and take a look at your facility, right? And see what you're doing and see what's going on in manufacturing and a good Oregon company. So Wyden came out to the company, and he's involved with this trade trade school, and he's involved with Benchmade, and Benchmade is donating to that. So if you just look at it logically, Benchmade is they're not a gun company. They make knives. They're looking out for number one. They're looking out for themselves. And if you have a company, you need to be staying up on the politics. You need to work with lobbyists. There's lots of things that touch Benchmade that are policy that is made in Washington, D.C. It could be health care. But it seems to me the reason why, it makes sense if they're supporting Ron Wyden, it may have nothing to do with him being anti-gun, but he may be a supporter, or it looks to be that he is a supporter of these trade schools, which I think none of you would disagree with. So this idea that if a person doesn't do, or a business doesn't do every single thing that lines up with you politically, boycott them. We can't have anything to do with them. I hate you. That is taking the tactics of the crazy, the loony left, and applying them to ourselves, using those tactics, and that's completely wrong. It's akin to this. It's almost a religion. The politics, the left or the right, are almost becoming a religion, a fanatical cult religion that is not helpful to anyone. It would be like this. I go to a church, and my neighbor is an anti-God person. Maybe he's even an atheist. Maybe he even writes anti-God propaganda. And I see that he needs some help, and I go over there and help him build a chicken shed, or I help him build a barn. And some of the members of my church see me up there on the roof helping my atheist friend, and they're like, "You're not a Christian. We won't have anything to do with you. You're not welcome in our church. We saw you on the roof of that atheist." That's just stupid. Again, Benchmade is not... Their business is not guns. They may have separated themselves from, they probably weren't even thinking of it. They probably weren't even looking at the gun issue. They were probably thinking, hey, this guy is helping us get jobs going. This guy is helping us with these trade schools, providing a good workforce. I don't know, but look at it objectively. You know, there's always more than meets the eye. Before you go on to start making YouTube videos like, no, boycott Benchmade and we're not doing this or we're not doing that, look at the facts. Look and find out what's going on. I probably should have given him a call, but you know, I'm not a political channel. I don't have time for that. I don't really care to get involved with the internet drama. But when I see people, you know, something that just doesn't seem fair, it just doesn't seem right, I want to speak up for it. I think the person that is the biggest moron in this whole thing is the dumb police officer that was virtue signaling by posting these pictures on their Facebook page. Because to me, what that is saying is, hey, check us out. We're not just out there writing tickets and collecting, you know, being parasites off of the local community. Look at all these dangerous weapons we took off the street. And I put these pictures on Facebook. I mean, it's just a huge virtue signal, in my opinion that blew up. I mean, what a moron. Here you've got Benchmade helping you out. You would think that that, you know, maybe this wouldn't reflect well, or maybe this wouldn't look well to Benchmade. You know, maybe we do this thing, but we don't necessarily need to be posting it on our Facebook page. I mean, that's the guy that's the biggest moron. So I guess what I'm saying is just don't just dogpile on this. Go in and look around, find the facts. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong on this and they are anti-gun or something, I'll speak to it. I've got no allegiance to Benchmade. I couldn't care less. I don't need to carry a Benchmade. There's a ton of other companies that make knives that are just as good. But let's be fair about it, and let's be reasonable about it, and let's judge people or companies how we would like to be judged ourselves, and not just dogpile on and go crazy and be dogmatic and hysterical about things when we don't have all the facts. Because when you're dealing with people, my experience is as soon as you rush to judgment and have preconceived notions about things, you're almost always wrong. You got to go get in and find out. You got to walk in a guy's shoes. So was it the best decision to be cutting up the guns? I don't know. I don't know if it makes any difference. I think it's kind of nice that the police department had an issue and Benchmade said, yeah, come on over. You can use our bench grinders and you got a problem. We can help you with this. You know, we want to support our local police and all of that. You know, I think that's a non-issue. I think the bigger issue is maybe the political donations. But if they're working together and they're providing jobs for young folks, and if Ron Wyden's supporting trade schools, you know, you're never going to have the perfect politician. You're never going to have the perfect person. And these folks, and if you're guilty of this, if you uploaded a video and you just a knee-jerk reaction, oh, I'm just so outraged and I hate this. How about we come to your house and we go through everything that you've bought and all the companies that you've supported, and let's do an investigation. Let's find out, are they pro-gun? Are they pro-this? Are they supporting all that? And find, are you clean as the driven snow? So before you get online and start trying to destroy a company or hurt a company that is providing good jobs, that's providing a good product that we all like, let's take a look at your own life. Are you perfect? So don't be casting stones at someone else and calling them anti-gunners and anti-this and that, when I know that if we came to your house and we went through everything, we'd have some things in there that would not align with your political beliefs, right? Or mine. You know, I wear Patagonia. I love their stuff because I think it's probably some of the best. And every time I wear this stuff, I get tons of comments. Oh, unsubscribed. I won't support you. They're a terrible company. You know what? How far do you want to take that? If you're going to go down that road, and if you're going to take that line of reasoning, you're going to have to go live in a grass hut, and you're never going to be able to buy anything, and your life is going to be miserable trying to chase down what every political affiliation, what every donation went. You know what? It's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's a tempest in a teapot. To me, it seems to me, it's a big overreaction. And I think Benchmade should just come out and say it. You need to come out, Benchmade, if you're watching these videos, you need to come out and get ahead of this. And don't apologize. Just own it. Hey, we support Ron Wyden because of this reason. You know, because if you need to do that. Because you just need to do that, because clear the air and find out. But let's give them a chance. It's only been out a couple days. Let's not rush to judgment. Look at what's happened in the last two cases with the MAGA cat kids and the Indian drum. You know, look what happened. Now we've got people being sued, and because of journalists that haven't taken the time to do the basic research. Again, 5 minutes I was on the internet, and I started seeing a bigger picture, that there may be more that meets the eye. And I'm not going to investigate. It's not my job. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. I've got my life to live. I don't care. But I'm not willing to dogpile on and try to destroy a company that, because I just don't have all the facts. I think that there's more than meets the eye. So act like an adult, act like a grown-up, do your investigation, find out, and if it is the case that they are anti-Second Amendment and they're supporting politicians because of their stance on gun control or confiscation, well, that's a whole different deal, isn't it? And we'll make another video on that if that's the case, but I doubt it. I know that Benchmade has been a supporter of police. I know it's been a supporter of the military. You know, was it the best idea? No, probably not. And in hindsight, I'm sure that they probably would have made a different decision. I think the stupidest thing of all of this is the virtue signaling cop who felt that he was, you know, grandstanding, going to make everyone make the department look good to some group of people because they're cutting up firearms. I think it should have just been done discreetly, and it wouldn't have been an issue. That's the whole problem here. So that's my take. All right, thanks for watching. Click the thumbs up if you enjoy these videos. We'll see you guys in the next one.